Today we're going to rebuild my favourite 26er I think I've probably ever built on this channel. The idea is that it will be built and stay built, and I'll just tinker and change things as time goes on, but it's the final form for this bike. We will also have to dimple the seat stays to make some clearance for tyres, and we will also talk about the importance of not drinking and cycling.
Oh god, this isn't going to be good. Oh god, oh god.
So this is my Saracen Andes. This is the form of its last build. This is the last time I had it, and I rode it pretty much all last year through the summer. Took it travelling around Wales when I went in the van and stuff, and it was just a really good bike to have around. I took it apart because there was a few things I wanted to change on it and update on it, but also I had some other bikes I was riding at the time and I kind of just needed to make a bit of space. So I kind of left it in the shed like this. But this bike is one of my favourite bikes, and the biggest reason for it is essentially it fits me perfectly. There's not many bikes that I've purchased and ridden and built over the years that are actually the right size for me, but this one is the right one. It's actually, funnily, the same geometry as my Steyr Stay TB as well, which also fits me very well. I first built it up for one of my crusty cruisers, and it looked like this. It was essentially all the parts that I kind of wanted to put on the bike I kind of did in this first go. It has some knobbly tyres, it rode really nicely, but naturally what everybody does with bikes, they just continue tinkering and changing bits as time goes on. One of the things that I did think about was actually the fact that I wanted to put some bigger tyres on it, but the clearance on it was pretty good for the age of the frame. I think this is a 1993 or 4 maybe. But I just wanted to expand those out a little bit more. So I've always thought I would eventually dimple the stays, but I just hadn't got to that point yet. I found the bike originally in Somerset when I was visiting my parents for Christmas, I believe, and naturally scrolling through Facebook Marketplace wherever I go to see if there's anything to find, I found this bike in this sort of condition, and I cannot remember to this day, there's videos online somewhere, if it was £5 or £10, or it was £10 and I got it for £5. That's the world it was. It was no more than £10, and it was a full bike, and I rode it home that evening, but I sat on it for ages until I finally built it. But anyway, I'm filming this in a heatwave right now. I'm very hot. Let's get on and build this bike, potentially for the last time, but we will tinker it. We'll tinker. So here it is in its current form, and the way it's been stored in my shed. This stem and cockpit area is one of the first things I do want to change. Then moving down the bike, the fork, I love this fork, I think it looks really good, but as you can see there's some rust under there and stuff, and I've got some other bits that I might put on instead, but I haven't fully decided yet. The fenders are also great, they work really well, they're one of my favourites from SKS, but I will be taking them off, giving them a good clean, and then maybe leave them off for the summer and put them on later in the season, and the rear one obviously as well. But yeah, I think that's probably about it. Seat post is probably the only seat post I have that will fit this, to be fair, and the bottom bracket I think is probably the wrong size, but we're going to get to that. It's also pretty crusty, pretty dirty. I used this a lot last summer and a bit into the winter, and it's time to give it a refresh. Starting off pulling the mudguards, fenders, whatever you like to call them. People always question that I call them fenders. I don't know, I like the way that word sounds, and it's not wrong. Juice Lubes have a new bike cleaner. It's a brand new formula and it is in a sick new colour. The refill is even more luminous looking, and as you can see, to my surprise, it's so foamy and frothy when it comes out. The old stuff came out quite like watery, not like I sound negative, it's still really good, but this stuff has like almost like a snow foam sort of thing going on. It's really good. I'm super impressed. Talking about Juice Lubes, I also added some of this glossy finish frame polish just to kind of like protect it. It's a silicone kind of type spray, so any kind of dirt that gets to it kind of comes off nice and easily, but also that disc tab at the back is essentially still raw, so any kind of oily stuff I can get on there, it's a good idea. Plus currently I have no disc brakes or brakes and anything on the bike, so if you're going to spray your bike with something like this, do it at this point. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen these rims already. These are Blunts 35s from Velocity that I got built up in collaboration with Ryan Builds Wheels. They got these really nice little blue nipples on them, but the tyre that I had on there just now was not the one that I was going to do long term. I wanted to get some hookworms on it. This is going to be my city bike for the summer, for cruising around, meeting up with mates and stuff like that. I tried this tyre on a skinny rim, very narrow, and it fit in here lovely, but on these 35s from Velocity there's just a teeny bit of rubbing. So I have these tyres pumped up to pretty much 60 psi, which is right at the top end of the capacity of these tyres, because I wanted them to be hard and fast rolling, which means that they are basically rubbing on the seat stays. I did, for now, as you know on Instagram and stuff, I did just let some air out so that they'd fit in there kind of enough to get the bike built and rolling. But my plan long term, as you'll know from this video, is to dimple those stays. But before we get to that, we're going to build the rest of the bike up. On the note of cool parts, I saw this on Toasty Ride's Instagram. It's a new chainring that a guy called Jeremy had put together. I commented how much I liked it, and Jeremy said, "Can I send you one?" And I said, "Absolutely." So this is a chainring. It's 36 tooth, this one, and it's 94 BCD. He has made a few different versions of this, like different sizes and BCDs and stuff. And I am in talks with him on how to get some over in the UK, because he is in New Zealand and it is a bit of a stretch to get them out here. So just hold on, we're talking about it. But if you do like what you see and you think this looks cool, do comment below if you'd be interested in this. I will probably only be doing it UK only at this stage, and what sort of tooth counts you would like. But as you can see, this White Industries crank is quite flat, so the spacing is not good. I then went to the shed and changed the BB countless amount of times. Actually, you didn't see on this video how many times I changed the BB, but it was a bunch, to the point I even got my friend Tom in the end to go around his shed and see if he could find something, and luckily he did find something. It was pretty smooth, even though it probably doesn't look like it would be smooth, and it was just not quite the right size still. Basically it was 110 is the distance or the length of the spindle that I need for the crank to fit on the other side as well, but the actual spindle size on the drive side needs to be as short as possible, so the offset basically is what we're looking for, which is I just couldn't find anything, so this one will work for now. Okay, so heading back up to the stem, this red shift stem, I say that fast 3 times fast. I can't even say that fast 3 times, one time. Anyway, it's a very cool stem. I like it very much, but for the bars that I'm going to put on it, it's not the right size, and it's slightly too long as well. So let's change it out. So this is the VO clunker bar, and it is a Trans X stem that I managed to find on eBay. Probably paid quite a lot for them. They're pretty nice. They're quite hard to find, but I paid a lot. But I like the way it looks. I wanted to use this clunker bar on a different bike, and it probably will go on a different bike eventually, but that's going to take some time. So I wanted to try the bar out. So let's put it here. The next thing is going to the rear, and it is putting this Brooks C17 out there. This is the orange color, which is kind of like a very, well, orangey brown. It's kind of a cool one, but I think it will kind of brighten up the top end of the bike with the orange wheels, basically is what I'm thinking. Plus it's worn in, so it's nice and comfy. You didn't need to see me faff around with a seat post for as long as I did, but there you go. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. It's coming together, let's just say that.
Going back down to the cranks, we need some pedals on these things. These are the VO, I can't remember which model these are, but they're very nice. They roll really, really nice, and they're quite wide. But Igor gave me these for my Neutrino last year. I think it was last year, and I really, really like them. So I think I actually might get some more of these because they are dope. And if that wasn't a hint big enough to say that I'm rebuilding my Neutrino at the moment, then I don't know what is, because I'm rebuilding my Neutrino at the moment. Now this is where the build, or at least filming the build, goes a little bit weird, because essentially I was doing the brakes and I was using these I think they're like Shimano Diors, something like that, hydraulic brakes, but the pads are a bit short and they're squeaking on the discs, and the cables weren't quite long enough, or hoses, and there was just so that I just didn't like the way they were feeling. So instead of running these, I actually changed into some TRP brakes that I had. The squeaks went, but the cables again are too short. These are cables this time, and I didn't show a lot of that. So the brakes are kind of, let's just say they are to be continued. I don't think these are the final brakes that are going on there. I will change them again, but I quite liked the colour of the hoses. So long story short, the brake situation needs some work, and I'll come back to them. As far as the gearing goes, I am putting an Advent X on there. It's my favourite derailleur. I've got this brand new one that I'm going to use. But the biggest problem I had here was the fact that the chain, I didn't have a chain, and the only chain I had was slightly too short. And as you'll learn later in the video, that caused some issues that involved me falling off my bike. And that was the bike all built up. Now, funny fact, or interesting fact, the geometry of this bike is nearly identical to my Steyr State EB. And this bag, Zoller Bagworks, made for me, and it fits pretty much perfect.
I was this close to taking all the stickers off of this bike. I was gonna like essentially change them for like black Saracen decals instead of having the pink ones, and then all the other stickers coming off. And then I remembered that like I really like stickers, and I feel like it was something that looked cool on the bike. And on that note, if you are looking for some stickers and things that look cool on the bike, my new sticker pack is available on the website. These were up for pre-order. They are now just available, and I'll be shipping them. Everybody who pre-ordered them, they have shipped as you're watching this, or this next couple of days, so they'll all be coming, but I have them now. It's a new sticker pack. It's got a few different ones in there. The really metally one says proper crusty, and it's one of my favorites. Yeah, if you fancy supporting the channel and picking up some new stickers, there's a link in the description, but it's saveoldbikes.com. Let's continue building this bike.
Now let's do what you're all here to see. Let's dimple these stays. There's many ways of doing this. The way I did it was using this tool from Conga Bicycles, which is available at steyercycles.com. It's a 5-piece tool, the guide that attaches to the frame, and then 4 different dies to give you different effects on the tube. Now I have the great pleasure of showing you how it works on my frame. So first job was to run the tyre to see where it's rubbing, and then you can make a little mark with a dry white pen, so you can just wipe it off afterwards. Don't use a Sharpie, and then you know that is where you need to press with the dimple tool. So this is the part that you attach to your frame, and the hole is where you put the dies, so that needs to line up the middle of that to where you need to press. Once you've got it all lined up, you can pinch these bolts up, but don't do them too tight. It's just to stop it from slipping about and losing your spot. Each die will give you a slightly different effect. Obviously the different sizes and shapes will cause different dimples into your frame. It's probably worth experimenting with them with some old tubing or an old frame or something, just so you can work out what's best. Once you have chosen the die you're going to use, you just use a G-clamp or maybe some big mole grips, something like that. It doesn't come with a G-clamp, but most people either have it already or they're reasonably cheap. I used a G-clamp, as you can see in this process. I used quite a big one as well, just so it could grip on there nicely. But you basically just want to get it nice and straight in the middle as best you can, and then very slowly start adding pressure. And there you have it, one nice little dimple. Sorry that it's not really in focus, you can kind of see it a bit better there, but there you go. It's best now to run the tyre again, see if it's working, and if not, you could always squeeze it a little bit further, but it's better to do it a little bit at a time than doing it crazy amounts all at once. This is usually when I would say, oh, cool, should we go look at it then? Which we will get to in a moment. I feel like you've seen a lot of this bike already so far in this video, which is nice. But I headed straight out as soon as finishing that to meet my friend Tom and Willow. Remember earlier on when I said that the chain was too short and that'd be an issue later on in the video? This is what I'm talking about. So just as we left the pub we were at to go to another pub, I snapped my chain literally instantly as I put some power into the pedals. Luckily my good friend Tom pushed me to the next pub, or at least pushed me onto the hills, and I rolled down some of them. But it got a little bit hairy.
Orientation.
Right, I snapped my chain.
I'm gonna hit a bump. You go, give me a push. Don't push me with your bike.
You're not coming on the right hand side of me.
Oh wait, sorry. Oh god, this isn't gonna be good. Oh god, oh god.
Now, I do not promote this type of behaviour. This was very silly, but we had a really good time, and yes, all three of us managed to hit the deck. Tom was then extremely good to me and fixed my bike before I went home.
No, I'll be okay. I mean, it was already short. Nope.
It's now just shorter.
That's really short.
Fingers.
Orange rims.
Right then, now should we look at it?
To say I'm pleased with the outcome of this bike is a complete understatement. It rides so good. The frame, I love the way it feels. It's got just the right amount of flex in it, and there's something just about it. It just feels so good, and it fits me, so it just makes sense. For a change, instead of being like, oh, I finished building a bike and it's just finished and that's it and then I'll ride it for a bit, or even the fact that I'll finish the bike and I'm like, that didn't quite work out. This is somewhere right in the middle. Obviously, I need a new chain. This one's too short. It was too short to start with. I've ordered one. It's actually here already. I just need to fit it to the bike. No problem. But there's little things like the fork. I kind of felt I might paint it. I don't like the rust on it. It's fine, but it's flaking a bit, and it just, yeah, I'm thinking about repainting it. The handlebars, I do really like them, but I do want them on another bike, so I think I'm going to have a look around and see if I can find something else for this one. But I don't know what that is yet, and I quite like that. And then the tyres. I'm glad I now make space for these tyres, but they're so heavy. and the bike feels a bit of a lump at the moment. So there's some tweaks, and I think that's quite exciting. And to be honest, that might actually make quite an exciting video. Like, you've built yourself a retro bike, everything looks sick, but now how do you tweak it to make it absolutely perfect? Or, you know, what's next? Those sort of things. So it's sick. The wheels, by the way, absolutely stunning. I wasn't 100% sure how I was going to feel with the orange and which bike they were going to go on, but I just knew I wanted some orange rims. Ryan did an amazing job building them as well. They ride really, really nicely, so do go and check out Ryan Builds Wheels. And thank you Velocity for sending me the rims. Whilst I'm saying thank you, should also shout out VO, because they've sent me some parts for this bike, but they also sent me a bunch of parts for some other stuff coming. They're really big supporters of the channel, and they do help me out with a bunch, so a massive thank you as always to Igor and Velo Orange. But also Jeremy, who made the chainring. I am going to try and link his Instagram down below so you can go and check it out. Like I mentioned in the video, if you are interested in these chainrings, I'm going to see if I can get a bunch over here for people, so maybe we can see if that's something you guys want to do. I kind of want to stick it with like UK really, just because like when it comes to these sort of things, Brexit's changed the way we can sell things out of the country, so like it's not easy. So if you're UK based and you fancy one, let's see if we can get some all together and save on some postage. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you've watched it to this part of the video and you're a regular, you're probably going, what the hell's going on? I'm decorating, I'm changing the way that things are looking. I've got a massive bit of wall here still, I'm going to add some bits to it. I've started putting stuff up that I've had for ages and I just wanted to have it on the wall, so I'm doing it. And that thing is something that's going to evolve in some upcoming videos. It is a 3D printer, if you don't know, and it's insanely cool. I've been using it a bunch. I have some cool stuff coming that I'm going to use it for. And that's that. If you're new to these videos, thank you so much for watching. I make all sorts of different kinds of bikes and cycling content. If you want to, or you don't want to miss out on those, you can hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free and it helps me out a bunch. And if you can't wait to the next video, that one up there is a particularly good one.